before we start?
Sure. I'll quickly introduce the platform and the idea, and then we can start with the session. So,
Yes.
so basically, this session is being organized by and organized on the platform called Jyoti Sangha. We started this online platform for people who are interested to learn about Vedic astrology and also about yoga together, all on one platform. So the idea is to invite, guest speakers and astrologers to give a talk on different topics that will help us in developing a better understanding of our own birth chart, which which I think is very important to be able to interpret our own birth chart and get clarity as we needed. So also at the same time, the idea is to build a community around it, because I feel so many people like me, they are learning Vedic astrology, and I realized that the best way to learn astrology is through getting information from every source we can, through talks, through content, through chats with community members, which I find the most effective way. Like, I'm always like chatting with one or two people already on the Jyoti Sangha, and I'm asking like, hey, what do you have experience about this nakshatra? How do you connect this nakshatra with that planet? So just one platform to grow our understanding about yoga and astrology. So that's the idea of Jyoti Sangha. Thank you, Nadia, for giving me space, and we can start.
Okay. So, all right, let me share the screen if it's possible here. We're just gonna get any random chart. Hold on. Okay. Here we go. So today we are going to talk about the planet of Mercury. All right. Um, Let us start from the basic of it. Where is Mercury? Regardless of the aspect where we say, oh, Mercury is the planet of communication, intellectual skill, intelligence, etc. One thing you need to know that Mercury can act and behave almost similar like Moon, all right? Because the way how we analyze things. So let's say, for example, I have an emotion, right? How I can think about it, how I can comprehend, how I can analyze it. You know, that aspect of us that we say, oh, I'm overthinker, for example. I'm just analyzing everything and just my mind is super wide and whatnot. It always has to do with the combination of Moon and Mercury together. Because if you have emotion and you cannot think about it or you just cannot really comprehend and analyze it, that means you have weak Mercury, correct? I don't want to say it's something common, but most of the time when I see someone who has some mental illness, like a severe mental illness that they cannot get out of it, or it just impacting their life in every several aspect, usually it has to do with Mercury. Like either one of them is super weak, or most of the time it's both of them. So we can say that Moon and Mercury, both of them are complementing each other. If Moon is my emotion or my data or whatever you can say, my subconscious mind, then how I can make it into reality is my Mercury.
Hmm.
Okay, now how I can combine that if I get back to it in terms of like mythology. So Buddha, which is Mercury, is actually the son of Chandra. Okay, so now we know how it comes from. Okay, Mercury is actually son of Chandra, and the guru of Mercury is Jupiter. The mother of Mercury is Tara. Tara, which is actually the wife of Jupiter. Okay, so some scandal, some drama happened here and there, and then both of them had a child, which is Buddha, all right? And then after that, Brihaspati, which is Jupiter, accepted the child and initiate him to become also a guru, or to just to be one of the Brihaspati's disciple, okay, which is Mercury. So this is the reason why Mercury actually is not flamboyant planet. Is not someone who want to explain everything as how people are portraying the planet. It's actually has to do with the energy. I want to learn, I want to comprehend, I want to store that energy or that information in my subconscious mind. Maybe, perhaps one day I will use it in this lifetime, or maybe I store it for the next lifetime. It just doesn't. Okay. So This is one thing. This is Mercury. Now, how I can interpret Mercury? Mercury, again, it acts like moon. Wherever it sits, it starts to embody that particular sign. Okay? Um, it's a tiny planet that can maneuver and change itself accordingly. It has no such thing called, I prefer to be in this place and I don't prefer to be in that place. Like, even if you can see people who have extremely strong Mercury or debilitated Mercury, forget about strong, debilitated Mercury. Mercury is sitting in the 12th house of Pisces. Does that mean that they cannot think? Does that mean that they cannot talk? Actually, they can be the most creative person. Why? Because it's sitting in the sign of his guru. We need to remember that. I understand that the aspect there is something called debilitation, exaltation, but I think with the modern world or how the human kind of change and we going through revolution, right? So you can say that when even though the planet is debilitated or planet is exalted, may not give us a same result of how it could be, let's say before 100 or 1,000 years. It's just because we are in Kali Yuga. So in the Kali Yuga is Rahu kind of era, expect unexpected kind of thing. Okay, so even as an example, Mercury is debilitated, is gonna give a bad result when Mercury and Mahadasha, Antardasha started, that when the person will get into messed up situation. But no, remember that it's sitting actually in his guru's sign. So Mercury in a Pisces in this case, it shows that the person will be able to combine between the emotion and the logic in a very effective way, in a very kind of like balanced manner compared with any other placement of Mercury. Okay, again, because there is actually the inner soul of Mercury, it comes from Moon, and I'm now combining it with Guru, and now I'm combining it with Jala Tattva. So I can kind of like create that triangle of how I can balance everything and manifest the good thing in life. You will find these people are very creative, unorthodox in nature. You will find them actually scientists and people who are into mathematics. Usually they have such Mercury. Like Einstein, I believe he has a Mercury debilitated in the 10th house.
Hmm.
Okay. Any question? Okay. So this is in terms of Mercury is debilitated there. Now let's talk about Mercury exalted. So Mercury usually exalted in the sign of Virgo, which is the 6th house in Kalapurusha Kundali. Okay, that's me. Mercury, it's actually exalted in its own sign. So what does that mean? So again, Mercury is a planet that I need to think in order for me to get a solution or an outcome, right? Okay, I have emotion, I have things going on inside of me. How I can translate that in effective way? How I can give that back to the people, to society, to whatever, even for myself. How I can serve that on myself, right? Let's say I'm feeling stressed. Okay, you feeling stressed, you acknowledge what you're gonna do about it. Mm. This is the aspect of Mercury. What is your action out of it? So you will find that Mercury is action-oriented planet. It does not sit in one thing and just start and contemplate about it unless your Mercury is weak. Mercury is action-oriented planet. So when it's sitting in Virgo, that's me, the house of service, regardless whether it's a service for people or service for myself. That's mean this is a point where I will start to react. Virgo is a very grounded energy. It's grounded to the Mother Earth. All right. Actually, Mercury is mostly exalted in Hasta Nakshatra, which where the moon is ruling the nakshatra. It's indicate that the person here is able perhaps to follow their logic and a common sense aspect or intellect, or you can say that analytical thinking much more better than the emotion. Because when it comes to practicality of life, perhaps we need more of grounded energy compared than the emotion. Emotion is good, but there is some certain level of how much you want to use that, correct? So could be the reason why Mercury is usually does well in the earth sign, in Virgo, in like Capricorn, or even in Taurus. But mostly I have seen it gives excellent result, especially when it comes to career, reputation, is in Capricorn. although it's exalted here. Again, that's why I said, as much as you want to follow the aspect of exaltation, debilitation, but when you understand the essence of every sign, you'll be able to comprehend and kind of click something in your mind. Okay, what this plus this gonna give me? Okay, so again, Virgo, it has to do with the surface, and I'm giving to people. So Mercury here will start to think analytically, okay, how I can give and how I can fix the thing. But when it sits in Capricorn, it usually shows the person who know how to act and react and give the result to himself and to people. It's just that I don't want to solve the situation and then settle it. That's it. No, I want the outcome of it. You might find Mercury in Capricorn can be quite greedy sometimes. You might find these people can be a bit manipulated when it comes to work, especially if it's sitting in Uttara Ashada Nakshatra. Okay, like a side note, Uttara Ashada Nakshatra, simplest way to understand it, it's represented by the planet Mongos. All right, that's mean individuality. So we'll find people who have a strong Uttara Ashada, regardless of which house it is, it's indicate they are very individual in whatever that thing is. Like, let's say Uttara Ashada strongly sitting in the 10th house. That's mean they are always want to jump to the top, regardless of who they are kicking off, who they are trying to push away. Uttara Ashada is very individual, right? So we can see that Mercury in Capricorn actually can manifest better result rather than it's an exaltation sign of Virgo. Now, what's the downfall of Mercury exalted? Because Mercury exalted means I am very logical, practical. Sometimes, let's say if Moon is sitting in somewhere which is very emotional, now I cannot really combine between my common sense and my logic with my emotion. Like it's like my mind saying something and my heart is saying something else. So could be the reason why I don't want to say most of people, but you can find people with exalted Mercury can get a bit confused. Okay, you can get a bit confused. Now, okay, first of all, is there anyone has any questions so far?
Nadia, just to clarify, so moon is just emotions, right? And Mercury is your analytical thoughts or ability to analyze a situation. That's a core difference between Mercury and moon. Just trying to understand the difference between two.
Just give me a moment.
Sure.
Yes, you are right on that. Moon has to do with our emotion only, all right? How we can maybe this is a good idea. Maybe we can have another session about moon, only moon. Moon,
Yeah.
it has to do only with our emotion and mental and emotional state. I may not react about it.
Got it.
I might think about it, I might feel it, but I may not react about it. The action oriented here to think about the solution, to think about it logically, how I can implement that is the Mercury.
Mm.
So both of them are complementing each other. Let's assume that the person, I'm thinking my sole desire to have a restaurant. I just love food. I fond with food. Now that comes with the Mercury, like, how I can plan it out.
Mm.
Okay, I need to rent a place here. I need to maybe do it there. It's just imaginary in my mind right now. Yeah, I found the food, which is my moon. How I can create that as to a restaurant. See how I'm trying to translate my emotion and my passion to something practical, which is my Mercury, right? We start to contemplate about it. Maybe I can imagine having a restaurant here. Maybe the decoration will be like this, like that. Now, okay, let us do it. Let us take the action. This is Mars now.
Mm.
Okay, so it's like everything is step by step. The passion, desire, and whatever is mood, how I can think about it, common sense kind of way, or how I can manifest it is Mercury. Action oriented, who gonna take it is Mars.
So for example, if somebody have exalted Mercury and debilitated moon, let's say that even a person has a solution to a problem, but then because the moon or emotions is so unstable, then
Mm-hmm.
the person won't be able to like trust the solution that the mind is providing, right? That would be the
Correct.
result. Okay, got
Correct.
it.
You are
Thank you.
right. Because in this case, like you have a two contradict kind of energy.
Hmm.
You know, there are two contradict energy unless, like, for example, there is some sort of support from Venus, some sort of support from Mars. Because again, Mars is the action.
Hmm. Okay.
Then okay, the situation can get a bit better. Let's say the ascendant lord is sitting a bit better. But you are right. This particular thing, it's always will be within the person, but it vary. How strong or how weak it is, it's depend on the other planet. But you are right. Correct.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay. Uh,
Nadia, I
any
have a question. Yes, I have a
yes.
question, Nadia. Can you emphasize a little more on Mercury with Capricorn? Because I think, if I'm not mistaken, 4th Feb onwards, Mercury is in Capricorn along with Venus for a few days for the next 15 or 19 days, if I'm not mistaken. Can you highlight a little bit on that?
Yes, correct. Okay, I think it's like around mid of this month. Let's assume it's 15th of Feb. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna have like a party on Capricorn actually. Hold on.
Yes, yes, correct.
Correct.
Starting
Okay.
4th Feb onwards, 4th Feb, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. Let us make it 10th because I want to see the sun also
Okay,
sitting.
okay.
Where is it? No.
Wow.
There is one set. I believe there is one date where everybody's sitting there. Hold on. I have to find it.
Yes. I know this because I'm also a Capricorn and I know that this conjunction is there and I'm looking forward to those dates and knowing what is going to happen those dates.
Okay. Okay. I see. So I think let's assume it's around 14th of Feb. Sorry, 12th of February. We can see that there is a party going on here in the sign of Capricorn. So what does that mean? So Capricorn usually is a sign that has to do with, again, power, reputation, and something that I want to have a control on it. So when there are so much planets sitting in Capricorn, there means there will be so many hands in the power. Somehow, somewhere at one point, maybe you will feel yourself, you may be fighting for something, or you are like striving for something. Why? Because there are many hands, many people here, many heads. Okay, pardon me to ask, where is Capricorn in your chart?
I'm not sure right now to see my chart. I don't remember.
Okay, but this combination can be quite good. It
Uh,
means that, let's say, for example, yeah,
Sorry, I was just gonna say we can take my example. My Capricorn is second house of my chart.
okay. So let's assume that, okay, but first, because before that, but Capricorn usually it gives good result because these planets are quite strongly situated. From the color pusher perspective, we have Mars is exalted, Sun here is Digbal, Venus here kind of comfortable, even Mercury here is kind of comfortable. So in most of cases, if Capricorn actually sitting in the good house, if your dasha is quite good, it shows that the person maybe will attain power, will attain whatever that Capricorn is. Let's say, for example, for you, Capricorn is sitting in the 10th house, maybe unexpected money will come, maybe some gain will come. Some because it's second house of family, maybe some family related things will agree on you. That means again, I get the power. Yes, there is a victory here. Okay, let's say, for example, the Capricorn is sitting in the 7th house. Maybe the person during this time will fix their marriage, will fix their business contract. I got a victory. Yes, I got something now. I got that power. Okay, let's say, for example, the Capricorn house sitting in whatever, like 5th house. That means during this time, the person will be able to show themselves publicly. Maybe they will get recognition, reputation in public. Yes, I got it. This is in the good side of it. Let's assume that you are actually going through kind of bad Mahadasha, okay, right now. It's just not really nice. And then Capricorn house right now going on, let's say in the 8th house, 12th house, 6th house, just not really good situated. Then maybe it shows that you will be struggle to get that power back. Why? Because all of this planet looking at Cancer, my stability and security. So something has to do with my stability, security is being shaken. All of us, we're gonna feel that in some way or another. Even if it's a small or a big thing, if it is a small thought in our mind, something about our stability and security and comfort zone is being shaken in some form. Think about it. What is exactly you are being overthinking about from now? Okay.
Also, will this make an influence like Capricorn being a sign of Saturn? Will Saturn also have an influence at this time? I've just put in my chart also, Nadia, for your reference. If you can just see in the messages.
Okay, I think your chart it shows in Hindi, which unfortunately I cannot understand Hindi.
Okay.
Okay, I'm really sorry for that. But never mind, we can tackle it. All right. Um,
Yeah. Okay.
However, yes, you're right, because it has to do with the sign of Saturn. That's why I said Saturn has to do with
Mm.
structure and foundation. When I attain some power, that's when I'm attaining some structure. When my power is getting loosened, that's mean my structure is getting shaken. From this perspective, you can say like, okay, something is just going on. But I think the more emphasize here is just so much of Cancer energy going on. That's mean something
Mm.
that of me just being shaken or I'm fearful of something. I don't know the outcome. Maybe could be good or maybe could be bad. I'm not sure. But something out of me like I feel insecure.
Yes,
Okay.
and maybe the insecurity of things not going the way you've decided and planned could be there,
Correct.
and the outcome not going your way in your favor. Maybe that is the
Correct.
insecurity that is there, right?
Yes. But Mercury, okay, back to the Mercury here. Mercury in Capricorn is actually good. That's mean the person here, let's say for example, the person already born with it. Okay. It shows that the person will be able to discuss, communicate with people. Very diplomat person. Able to again like to be in balanced kind of state between emotion and common sense. Although there will be more into a common sense, but yet there is still that balance like, okay, I know how to talk, I know how to deal with people, I don't know how to deal with their mind. I know how to manipulate their mind in order for me to get what I want. Ah, that's the thing.
Could it be because maybe like you say, Mercury is a planet of communication. So the better communication you do, so that actually emphasizes your Shani. So the more hard work you do along with communication, and your end result comes out in your favor. That be a possibility?
That is the possibility, yes. Let's assume that there is a Mercury sitting in the 10th house or Mercury sitting in a Capricorn. Regardless of where is your Capricorn is, it must has to do with your career. Let's say, for example, your Capricorn sitting in the 2nd house, and then you have Mercury there. Yes, you are right. You need to communicate in order for you to sustain that house.
Mhm.
Correct.
Correct. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, welcome.
Nadia, if you don't mind, can we also discuss the characteristics of Gemini sign, the other sign that Mercury rules?
Yes, I'm going to discuss
Whenever
about
you have a
Gemini.
moment.
Yes, I'm going now to discuss about what exactly the essence and the meaning of Gemini and also what the meaning of Virgo. Okay, let us start now. So, as we know that Mercury here we are talking about is ruling Gemini and is ruling Virgo. Let us talk about Gemini. The best thing to do when you are trying to understand or learn Jyotish is to learn the blank chart. That's mean the essence of each zodiac sign, what it means, what's going on, and what's happening. Okay. Now, Gemini is presented by duality, two things, left and right, which is also equal to balance. It doesn't mean that I'm bipolar or something. Okay, it means I am balanced. I can be like this, I can be like that. It depends on the situation. But the outcome of it, I am trying to learn what is the best thing that can fits me in this life. Should I be emotional or should I be logical? Should I be, I don't know, should I dress up in this way, that way? This is the energy of Gemini. I'm just trying to figure out how I can live. Okay, so this is number one. Number two, Gemini is an air sign. I always say that air sign means is moving. I'm not going to sit in one place and it start to rain for 2-3 hours. Even if it rain 2-3 hours, and in the fourth or fifth hours, it will move to another place. Correct? It's the same thing with air. Something come and something goes and something else will come. And back and forth, back and forth. So you will find the house where Gemini is ruled and governed in your chart, it's always kind of moving. Doesn't mean that it's not stable. Doesn't mean that it's not sustainable. It's just like it's moving a lot. Let's assume the person has Gemini as their seventh house. Could be this person able to have multiple relationship and partnership, even as a friendship. Not necessary to be that's mean the multiple spouses. No, it can be like I have multiple friendship, for example. Maybe I learned something from this person. Thank you so much, and then I go and explore other people, other group. I learn from them. I travel a lot. I move a lot. I meet people a lot. Let's assume Gemini sitting in the fourth house. Maybe this person will love to change their decoration in the house, traveling, maybe moving from place to place every few years. Always you will find that Gemini house in your chart, always moving, or you love to be creative in that particular place. Cool? All right. Now, let's say, now what about Virgo? So Gemini is easy. Gemini is very easy. It's a sign that you want to learn the most. Okay. What is the most sign that you want to learn or you want to observe the information from and knowledge? I would say it's always Gemini. People think, oh, it's Sagittarius. No, Sagittarius is higher studies. Sagittarius is something that has to do maybe with spirituality, maybe something has to do with philosophy, government, something which is like kind of heavy, big kind of stuff. But what about like a skill? What about something like, okay, today I read a book about how to make a rocket tomorrow after tomorrow, and then I start to explain that, right? And then I just make the project. Hey, I made a rocket. Now what we're gonna learn? We're gonna learn to make a embroidery or something. I don't know, clothes. This is Gemini. Gemini will give you actually a life experience. You will find yourself experiencing life because of your Gemini house, not Sagittarius, not Pisces, not any other place. Cool? Okay.
What if someone has Gemini as ascendant? Always understanding ascendant in the first house, I mean.
Okay. Gemini as ascendant means their life, I don't want to say a roller coaster, but you will find this person always learning new things about every aspect. They will learn a lot about because there is one Gemini sign aspect. Okay. So they said if it's Gemini usually aspecting the four houses from itself. That means this one, and this one, which is the main four pillars. So you will find this person, number one, their personality maybe will evolve with time. Depend on where is Mercury. Evolve in which way? Is it evolve in the good way or evolve in the bad way? Are they becoming a criminal or they becoming a saint? It depends. So this is number one. Their personality will always evolve with life circumstance. Okay, what type of life and circumstance will impact them? First of all, the home, family. Number one. That means the more that they move from home to home, the more that they experience some drama, I would say, in the house, the more they will be evolving. Number two is their relationship and marriage. Relationship and marriage or people as overall will kind of like change Gemini person in very significant way. And third thing is career. If you can see both of them actually connected to each other. So that's mean career and home stability. I don't want to say the Gemini people are roller coaster, but again, they will experience a lot in life. You will find them, they have a knowledge in everything. You will find them a very friendly people. They can connect with everything. They're able to understand everything. Why? Because it's just the nature of them like that. Cool. All right. All right. Now we get back to the Virgo. So again, Virgo is a sign which is where Mercury is exalted, as we already mentioned, correct? And it may not the best sign to have in a chart, which obviously all of us have a Virgo sign in our chart somewhere, correct? Virgo is naturally connected to the sixth house of Dushtana. Even if, let's say, my ascendant is Virgo, let's say my 10th house is Virgo, regardless of where is Virgo is, it will always connect you to reference of being the sixth house of Dushtana, which also has to do with obstacles, issues, problems that I need to solve in this lifetime. So let's assume the person, it just simply ask you, hey, what do you think the most challenging aspect in my life that I need to really fix or solve? Most probably you want to look where is their Virgo, in which house it is. Okay? I can be frank though, Virgo can be quite problematic aspect or placement in your chart, right? That's mean the person here will try to serve, work, and dedicate a lot to that particular house in their chart. It will end up in good way because it's, I think, one of the Upacha houses. That means the more that you're getting older, the more that your Virgo will get better. But it has some sort of struggle on it. Let's assume that Virgo is ruling the fourth house. So instead of this four, I say that this is six, Virgo. It shows that the person here will go through a lot of ups and downs in the home, and they will become the mediator there. No, everyone, please stay calm. Don't react like this. They should become like that mediator and then, like again, Mother Mary. Okay, that saint of the house. Everyone, please stay calm. Everything will be fine. Da, da, da. Let's say, for example, Virgo is ruling the 10th house. You will find this person always will go to workplace that has bunch of issues. May not relate to them. It's not that their career is problematic, but they will go to every workplace that has some sort of drama. And here I am, I'm a mediator, and I'm trying to make everybody feel good. Everybody stay calm. Okay, so you'll find Virgo here actually the sign of you can say problem solver person, okay, especially if you have a dominant of Virgo. Let's say, for example, person has a Virgo in the ascendant, which is obviously it's pretty much common, correct? So it shows that the person will be very detail oriented, obviously, because I don't want problem in my life. I'm very practical and very like a straightforward person because again, I don't want to get myself into trouble. But somehow, somewhere, depend on where is Mercury seated, it shows that the person somehow will attract issues to them, will attract problems to them. Or maybe somehow, somewhere, they will start to serve people so much till the point that they can't feel drained. I have noticed that a lot. If the ascendant is Virgo and then ascendant Lord, which is Mercury, it's weak. And then also, let's say, there is a lot of malefic going on here. It can indicate some mental and emotional issues, like deep mental issues. Okay, why? Because just like Mercury, feel like, oh my God, I'm super drained and overwhelmed with bunch of things that I need to solve in life. Okay, so yeah, please, any question?
I have Virgo in 10th house, so I can definitely relate to what you said. Whenever I join a new company, not necessarily any issues with my job or anything, but I see that the workplace is going through some kind of a change or solving some issue, or always a management change happening. So definitely relate
Oh,
to that with Virgo in 10th house. Thank you.
oh, good. Oh, good. Any other question, guys?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, we can
Nadia,
start. Okay,
I
please
was
tell me.
saying that I have Virgo in my 5th house, um, and that's definitely playing out in my life in regards to children and my relationship with my dad and um,
But I think in the fifth house, it gets better with time. Why? Because fifth house is one of the houses, right? It's one of the most like blessed house. So no matter how much that house can be uh influenced by malefic, okay, I always say that. Even let's say you have Ketu, you have Saturn here, oh my God, everything is just super malefic. Let's say this cluster is here, but due to the fact that it's trick house, it usually at one point will give you a good result. Why? Because fifth house usually shows the past life good deeds that must manifest in current lifetime. So whatever that struggle or issues that you are going through right now, I believe at one point it will start to reward you with something else. It just may be a nature of Virgo, which is like kind of problematic, but at the end of the day, it must give you something good that lets you forget all the bad things that happen. Okay.
that's certainly my experience. My question is, I have, gosh, Mercury, Venus, and the Sun and the Moon all in Virgo in my 5th house, and the Moon in Uttara Falguni.
Mm,
I I struggle to understand um, if that is a strong placement or not.
okay. Just give me a moment. Let me just change the chart here. Okay, that's mean you are a Taurus person, right? Taurus ascendant.
Correct.
Okay. You said you have what in your fifth house? Pardon.
The Moon is in Uttara Falguni. Mercury and Venus are
Conjunct.
in Mercury and Venus are in Asta, and the Sun is in Chitra.
Okay, so you have like cluster here, like a party technically, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So you have Moon, Mercury, Venus, Sun, all of them sitting in the sign of Virgo. Well, Moon here can feel a bit overwhelmed because again, he's a teeny tiny planet and trying to figure out his life. So sitting with another planets like Mercury, Venus, and Sun, it can give some sort of confusion, especially that's when you're born in new moon. One thing,
Right.
right? One thing you need to know when the person is born under new moon, full moon, lunar eclipse, solar eclipse, usually their life path will be different than the average person. In a sense, maybe you will experience things in life that normal people won't experience it. Or maybe you will struggle on things that most of people they won't struggle. Why? Because the soul here has a specific soul agenda. Like I want to manifest this particular thing, and maybe after that I will exit or I just give up on life. After that, I don't care. I just want this thing. Okay, so you will find your life path and your soul mission, the way how you think, analyze your perspective can be quite different than another people. So I think the self-doubt that you said, like whether my moon is good or bad, it's actually good. But maybe you will start to question yourself because of the people's kind of a view about you, like, hey, why you like this? Hey, why you think like this? Why are you doing this? It's just how who you are. Because you're just different. You're born in a new moon, not like an average person who born in any other day.
That makes sense to me.
Okay? So don't doubt
Yeah.
yourself. Moon here is quite nice. Oh,
Nice.
please.
Thank you. Thank you, Nadia.
May I ask Nadia,
Yes.
so I have the Rahu in Virgo in house 4. What does it tell me?
Okay, so you are technically a Gemini person, correct?
Yes.
And then Rahu here sitting in the Virgo. And then here is Ketu. All right, so Rahu Ketu in 1-4, it indicates quite intense placement because maybe part of you, you have a desire to create a good structured foundation in your family, your own family. That means your husband, your children, and so on. Maybe perhaps at one point in your own childhood you didn't have that, so somehow now I want to create something new for myself with a different kind of perspective, different kind of upbringing for my own family. Okay, so you will find yourself, you have different mentality than your mother and father. For example, the way how you raise your children, it can be quite different than how your parents raised you, or your generation kind of raised you. Okay, so this is one thing. Second thing, Rahu in the fourth house, it's indicate that the person may travel abroad at one point, or they would love to kind of like change places or go to the place where they feel like I can manifest better life for myself and my family. But the issue is that Virgo is Virgo. As much as you are trying your best to manifest that good environment, somehow, somewhere you will find obstacles or opposition.
Yeah.
Yeah. Somehow, somewhere you will find that someone will just disagree with you. Although your intention could be genuine, like I just not trying to harm anyone. I'm not trying to make sabotage anyone's life. My intention is genuine, but people may not comprehend and understand what are you trying to do, especially with the family. So when you get frustrated from the home, when you get frustrated from a family and whatever they are doing, you try to refer back to your K2. K2 here is either one of the two, either traveling, it can give you some sort of peace, or either your career, it can give you some sort of peace. But no matter how peaceful this placement is, you will feel like, this is not like how I want. This is not like something I am looking for. So you will go back again to your family. So family here can be I don't want family here can be like a backbone for you, although it can be problematic sometimes. Maybe you're doing everything perfectly correct, but people's kind of issues and problems, somehow they will bring that to you, and now you feel emotionally, mentally impacted that because this person is going through something, and now I'm trying my best to solve their issue. It could be also in this way. Does that make sense in some way?
I guess it needs to process a little bit, but with the family thing, it is, I guess I live a very different structure of family life compared to many other people. And what you say about change of the places, I also have this sun in the 10th house. So it is really all my life, whether it was in my career or in any other chapter of my life or area of my life, always I needed these changes in place. I have my fixed place, yes, but I need to, in my job, I needed to go somewhere. I have to do business trips and all that. And also now I am free, I'm independent, so I can choose to live in some other place for a couple of months in a year. Yeah. So, yeah, and what you said with these obstacles, that is really true. I mean, it can look very perfectly, but when I come, Yeah, it is really challenging sometimes. I need to process what you said. Yeah, need some time. Thank you so much.
You're most welcome. But yeah, Rahu can give the energy of dissatisfaction because Rahu will always aiming for something more, something much better, which has no limit, kind of thing. Let's say, for example, the person has a dream to, let's say, have a big house. Even when they get a big house after 3, 5 years, they will say like, no, I just want to have a mansion. After having a mansion, no, I just want to have a palace. What about that? That will be interesting. And so on and so on. Rahu has no limit at all. You know, but part of us also we need to understand as much as we want to satisfy ourselves or want to control or make things good, but maybe Rahu won't give us that perfectionism. And I think that's the essence of life, right?
It
If,
is.
yeah.
I guess for me, this Rahu is in Pisces, and for me, it is that I guess the most valuable thing for me is just to make experiences. So like to want to have adventure. No? I mean, sometimes you enter into an adventure and it turns out exciting and brilliant and wow. And other time your adventure is, let me say, exhausting and confusing and challenging and whatever. But the beauty is that afterwards you can say, wow, what an adventure, what a story in my life. Yeah, might
correct.
be it is that, I don't know.
Correct. Actually, also because of you being the Gemini ascendant, I just mentioned about it today earlier. Gemini means like I want to experience multiple things in this lifetime. Maybe I'm going to use that knowledge later on, or maybe I'm just going to store it for my next lifetime. But in all cases, I just want to experience life to the fullest. So actually, I find people who have a strong Gemini, they are quite good-hearted people because they don't take that anger, frustration to their heart. They just let it go. It's okay, this is life, this is experience, lesson learned, and we move on. Kind of person. So I believe actually Gemini people are
Ideally.
very nice. Okay.
Thank you.
You're most welcome. Any other question, guys?
Nadia, if I just have this question, I don't know if this is the right time to move to conjunction, but because I have Mercury and Ketu conjunction in Gemini of 7th house, basically. So I'm just wondering how this conjunction plays out with Mercury, even though it's in exalted sign, but with Ketu as a malefic planet. So that's the only thing I always wonder about.
Okay, so when we have a K2 with Mercury, okay, let's say both of them are sitting in Gemini, it's actually, I don't know why people are fearful from K2, but K2 does not do anything. It's just a body or experience that you already had in your past life, and that's it. you know I'm just a storage of your past life. That's it. So when Mercury is sitting with K2, it shows that the person mind can be very, very extremely intelligent and clever when it comes to practicality of life. That's mean you are clever and intelligent in terms of attaining new knowledge. You learn things very quickly. You pick up things quite quickly. All right. Usually, these people shows they may get into engineering, regardless of whatever sign is. Ketu and Mercury, I most of the time I seen them into engineering or they love to deal with numbers.
That's right. Yeah.
They pick up things very quickly. They understand things very quickly. They feel things very quickly. So it just actually Ketu with Mercury, it could be very complementing that Mercury, I am here instead of me, I'm trying to figure out life and think, analyze what is good, what is bad by my own self. Now I am bringing my past life experience here right now with my Mercury. So at least like I have a book or data Mercury can go and search up from. So Ketu here will kind of act like a book for Mercury. So it's actually a good place. Not bad.
Okay.
All right.
I do have one question. Sorry. I know I
Yeah.
joined late, so but hi Nadia.
Hi, Anna. How are you doing?
Hi, Hannah.
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. What's
So
up?
I just in regards to Mercury, I think because I have Revati moon in Pisces ruled by Mercury, but then I'm also Gemini ascendant ruled by Mercury, and then my Mercury's in Scorpio. So I'm interested in learning how to strengthen the Mercury and Scorpio placement. It's in the 6th house as well. So from the ascendant.
Okay, so Mercury is here. May I know in which nakshatra it is?
Anuradha.
Anuradha. Anuradha is a nakshatra that ruled by Jupiter, I believe. Yeah.
Oh, I think it's Saturn.
Yeah,
it Saturn?
Saturn. Yes, Saturn. Sorry. Yes, it's Saturn.
Okay.
I do not think that you need to strengthen your Mercury. Number one, because it's actually your ascendant lord sitting in the 6th house. It can be considered to be quite good because Mercury, anyways, it feels comfortable in their 6th house.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, it feels comfortable. Secondly, where is your Mars?
Capricorn in the 8th house.
Okay, so Mars is here. Okay, so you can see that there is like okay going on here. All right. Um, First and foremost, I really do not think that you need a lot of work here to strengthen your Mercury. This is number one. Number two, as I mentioned at the beginning, Mercury is a very teeny tiny planet. That's mean wherever you put it, it will start to act like as it is. All right. Let's say, for example, Mercury right now is in Scorpio. That's mean Mercury here almost acting like Mars and almost acting like a scorpionic person. It indicates maybe one thing you need to learn is how you can balance out your mental state and emotional state because both of them can really mix up together till the point that you feel confused of how you will want to take action and decision. So it's very important to keep your mind calm and do not stress out. When you start to dress stressed out, Mercury will start to activate, Scorpio will start to activate, and then unexpected kind of event will start to happen.
I can definitely see that.
You know, as if like this is it does mean your mind or your vibration is very strong as you can attract whatever you think of. Okay, Scorpio has to do with our subconscious or abilities that nobody else will have it. Scorpio is very unique. Forget about Pisces, forget about any other placement. Scorpio are very unique, and the most time that nobody will understand it unless they themselves have a placement in Scorpio. Even I myself talking like this, I don't know why it's Scorpio. Okay, it's the most difficult sign to understand. But what I know that they are able, whatever they think of or put the intention, they can attract that thing. And your placement, it shows the person may have a tendency to think negatively sometimes or to get stressed. So try your best to maneuver yourself from getting such thoughts so you don't manifest it.
Thank you for that. But I'm not sure if you've mentioned this already, but what about when Sun is sitting with Mercury? Does that give Mercury any different effects as well? Because I have Sun in Scorpio as well.
Sun act like a bulb of light. Wherever it sits, it will start to shine bright that particular planet much more. It doesn't matter where its sun is. So that's me now, Mercury getting much more stronger, or maybe whatever I said right now, becoming extra. Why? Because of presence of sun. But one thing you need to be careful of is enemies. This placement can show the person will manifest a past life enemies for sure, soon or later. Okay, and also whenever Mercury is get activated, Sun get activated, or is there any aspect to Scorpio get activated, get yourself some protection. I'm not trying to scare you or anything, but I always seen people who got like a spell word, you know, like a negative energy, evil eye, whatever, all of these things that you can attract from people. It usually has a placement in Scorpio.
Are there any remedial things that you know about for Scorpio Mercury?
You mean like remedies, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, most important thing, I feel like you try to wear always black tourmaline with you.
Okay, I'll write this down.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Most welcome. Try to wear a black tourmaline all the time. Even let's say, for example, wearing it in two hands like a bracelet, that also will be helpful.
Okay.
Okay. And
Mhm.
also trust your intuition. If you feel like someone vibe is not really great, you trust
Mhm.
that. Someone is really genuine to you, maybe they are literally genuine to you. Always trust your intuition.
Mhm.
Okay, all good.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, is there any other question, guys?
Nadia, one other question.
Mm.
Can you say something to give me a deeper understanding of the relationship between Mercury ruling and being exalted in Virgo and Virgo being an earth sign?
Is it back to your chart, right? When you mentioned that you have a Mercury in the 5th house, correct?
Yeah.
All right,
I
so
have this experience of living mostly in my mind, but over the last couple years I've realized that I'm also very grounded in my body more than I was aware of. And it it's always fascinated me that Mercury, you know, in Gemini, this airy, active planet is also exalted and ruling this Earth sign.
Okay, so you are asking that what's the impact technically of the second lord of your Mercury, sorry, yeah, Mercury actually sitting in the 5th house, correct? Did I understand you correctly?
No, my question isn't really particular to my chart. It's more in general about trying to get a deeper understanding of how Virgo is this earth sign that is ruled by Mercury, this very active graha.
Okay. So, okay, you are trying to ask me that how is Mercury actually acting when it's exalted in Virgo, correct?
I
Please.
wrong, Jeevan. I think what Jeevan might be trying to ask, like Mercury rules two sign. One is air sign and another is earth sign. So it's just
Correct.
fascinating to think that how Mercury is able to rule both air sign and then is actually exalted in earth sign. So have a lot of like attributes related to earth, uh,
Okay.
earth component. Is it right, Jeevan?
Yes, yes.
Got
Okay,
it.
I'm really sorry. Pardon me, I couldn't get you in from the first time. I'm really sorry for that.
No,
Okay.
no worries.
Okay. So I think the essence of that is that Gemini is okay, just let's get back to Kalapusha. Okay, here we go. So Gemini is natural of the 3rd house of skills, abilities, intelligence, something that I want to learn, something that I want to attain as a knowledge. Forget about Sagittarius. Again, Gemini is the one who want to get the knowledge, want to get the something. But maybe I'm not going to get it so deep. But hey, I will need it. Let's say, for example, I need to learn how to clean. I need to learn how to cook basic things, right? To make a scrambled egg for me to survive. This is kind of Mercurian thing. Again, if you refer back to whatever I said before, that if moon is emotion, the second thing that we need to think of is how we can get the solution out of it. Correct? So how I'm going to get the solution out of it if I don't have a skills? This is where the energy of Mercury need to come. That's why I said moon and Mercury is very similar. In order for us to manifest things, even like, for example, to get into a Zoom call, make a laptop, make a phone, we need to have the moon and Mercury at the beginning as an idea. Then I can manifest it. Correct. So Mercury here is a planet that will try to let you learn things, basic kind of skill in order for you to continue in life. Let's say, for example, I learn a skill, all right? And then let's say I sustain whatever skill that I have to make the home. I'm talking here with the fundamental of human being. I learned a skill to build a home. Now I build a home. Fifth house, now I show up to people. Okay, I have a stability, I have a security. Whatever that security is, could be a home, could be a money, could be whatever. But at the same time, at one point, I will hit with some sort of obstacle and issues, which is the Virgo sign. How I'm going to solve my issues and problem if I don't have ideas and emotion? Okay, how I'm going to solve that? I need my Mercury here then. I need my Mercury, I need my moon in order for me to be able to overcome whatever obstacles is there. All right. So Gemini and Virgo is always intertwined with each other. I need the skill that I learned from Mercury, aka Gemini, in order for me to solve the issues and problems. The seventh house or Libra here creating the balance. I will become very diplomat. Okay, I become very diplomatic about the problem. I try to fix the situation, correct? And then maybe in the Scorpio sign, I will start to dig deep into the morals of it, correct? Because again, the Scorpio is digging deep. And then I get out of it with the principle, which is Sagittarius, the principle that I follow. After what? After all the challenges that I went through in life. Okay. And then after that, what we do? After that, we want to teach people about it, which is Capricorn. And I want to spread it to people. And then I get back to my resting place, which is Pisces. Right? You can say if this is a cycle, if let's assume the chart actually is a cycle of our life, you can see the pinpoint here or the cutting point here, it will be until the sixth house. After that, all of this is the house of exposure, kind of. Exposure of whatever I learned in my first stage of life. I go to school, this is actually the fourth house, can be considered as a high school, by the way. And this is fifth house is considered as the undergraduate. Sixth house is a house of skill that I get. Okay, that's mean like an internship, yeah? And then how I'm going to show people what I got, what I learned from my life, which is that's mean like 23 plus, then from the seventh house onward. Okay. There is one concept they said, I don't remember the name. Brinduhu Salara Padhati and Brinduhu Chakra Padhati. It said that the first house, it shows your 1 year, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 year, 10, 11, 12. This is your 12th year, okay? So this is will be 13 years old, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. You will stop from Virgo. After 18, obviously, we're going to become an adult. Then we're going to go out to the world and show up wherever we were supposed to show up. Okay? I hope I answered your question.
Oh, Nadia, that was great. Thank you. That was very insightful. I
Okay, fine.
appreciate it.
Thank you. All right.
Nadia, I have one quick question.
Yes.
Yeah, so basically, I want to know is how does one strengthen their Mercury, whichever house it's placed in, what can one do to strengthen their own Mercury? And like maybe Mercury is associated with the color green. So does one have to do more with plants? Should one water plants regularly, wear green regularly? I just want to know basically how does one strengthen their Mercury, if you can emphasize.
Okay. So when it comes to the remedies, for me, I can be a bit sensitive about it because I will never suggest a remedy unless that I see the person is needing that. Let's assume the person has exalted Mercury, okay, like Jivan. And let's assume in Navamsha it's also situated somewhere very strong. Then in this case, you don't need any remedies. Overpowering something will give you a backfire. Always remember that. So this is number one rule. Do not overpower a planet. It will backfire to you. Number two, when it comes to the remedies of Mercury, again, you need to see is it which nakshatra it is. Try to follow the remedies that has to do with nakshatra. Let's say, for example, my Mercury is in Sharavan. Okay, you go and search what is remedies for the Sharavan nakshatra and try to follow that. But in my opinion, Mercury again is a teeny tiny planet, does not need a lot of remedies because hey, I'm trying to learn here. I'm not like a heavy like Saturn. I'm not heavy here like Jupiter. I'm just a planet here trying to learn. That's mean I will maneuver depending on how you want me to think of. That's why you said like maybe wearing green will be good enough. Wear a wear either emerald or jade, green jade. These two are very significantly impactful for Mercury. Even I myself experienced that. And that's it. It's enough. Let's say, for example, yeah, my Mercury is already so strong and I think I don't need it. Then okay, you still feel like you want to do any remedies for it. Then either wear emerald or green jade. That's it.
Nadia, can I ask you a question here?
Thank
Yes.
you. Thank you.
In my case, I have a Mercury with Ketu would in seventh house, which is Marka house. Now, few people confused me. Some astrologers told me that emerald actually is very good for me, and I felt really good effect for the time I wore it, right? And but others said that like, hey, it's sitting with Ketu and in seventh house, it's not at all good for my health. So they didn't suggest me. So what is your opinion for like for me wearing emerald in my placement?
Okay, my question to you, first and foremost, do you have any activation of Mercury? Like, are you going to Antardasha, Mahadasha, or Priyantradasha? So if you are not going through any of these, then even when you wear the emerald, the effect of it will be only like 50 to 60, but it won't maximize more than that. Why?
Got
Because I'm just not active.
Hmm.
Why? Because I'm not your ascendant lord. I'm not your ascendant nakshatra lord. So why are you wearing me? Mercury will say that. So I'm going to give you only 50%. I'm just going to make you feel good. That's it. This is number one. Number two, Mercury here with K2 has nothing to do with your health. That's mean you are Sagittarius person, correct?
Yep.
When I am interpreting a health, I need to see the condition of the ascendant lord, which is Jupiter, the sixth house, number three, the sixth house lord, in this case, let's say Venus. Now,
Yep.
in this case, Mercury and K2 has nothing to do with your health. So I'm not sure why they are telling you that Emerald will give you a backfire on health.
Got it.
K2
Makes
is like a book of my past life. Instead of Mercury now trying to learn by itself, trying to figure out by his own. Now at least like I have a company, I have like a K2, like a book. I can open up my past, see what is exactly the past note that I did, and get that information from. K2 with Mercury is neutral. They are not bad to each other.
Got it.
Okay. So
Okay. Thank you so much.
Nadia, may I ask the last question to my personal chart?
yeah, sure.
Okay, this is in the ninth house, Mercury with Sun. What does it want me to make understand?
So I think you are Gemini person.
Yeah.
And then we have a Mercury here with Sun.
Yes.
Actually, it's quite excellent placement, to be honest with you. It usually shows perhaps the person will have a strong inclination towards higher studies, philosophy, spirituality, traveling the world in order for me to learn. Because hey, Mercury here does feel comfortable because why? It's the air. Mercury element is air. I'm
Yeah.
sitting with air. Doesn't mean I'm going to have fun here. Okay, so it shows that the person will be traveling, having fun, learning new things, learning new cultures, background, in order for me to be able maybe to understand myself more, to comprehend myself more. So in order
Exactly.
for me maybe to able to overcome whatever obstacle that comes to me. And it also shows that the person may attain good connection, professional network circle, and abundant when they are in foreign land. Okay, so
You very nicely described it. It was rather description for me. Thank you very, very much.
you're most welcome.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. So all good. We shall wrap up.
Well, if nobody has any more questions, we can wrap up the session. And thank you so much, Nadia, once again for explaining about Mercury placement and then uh, how it impacts the sign of Virgo and Gemini, and then being so patient and answering all of our questions about a chart. We even ran as usual 20 minutes over time, and it just shows your patience and love and passion for the astrology that you just answered it patiently. So really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And just for everyone who have not met with Nadia before, Nadia is literally one of the most, if not the most intuitive astrologer I have come across. Her reports are amazing. So in case anybody is looking for any guidance, please feel free to check out her website and follow her Instagram as well. She posts really amazing blogs on astrology. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much. You're most welcome, and yeah, don't brag about me just because of my Jupiter activities, I'm trying to stay alive.
Well, in astrological terms, you have your whole party going on in ninth house, which already gives you amazing astrology and intuitive abilities. So, you know,
Thank
it
you. I
is.
really appreciate it. It's all good. It was with my honor and pleasure to meet you all. Thank you so much for attending and
Thank you.
listening. I really, really appreciate that. So, yeah, may God bless you all. You made my day. Now I'm gonna have a good day.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Nadia.
Amazing.
You're
Thank
most
you so much,
welcome.
everyone, for joining. See you next week.
Okay, thank you. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Oh,
Bye.
bye.